In 2023, the World Health Organization declared loneliness a global public health threat. But this isn't just a psychological problem, it's a design problem. The cities we live in, the apps we use, even the benches we sit on in the streets, they're all designed in ways that make us more isolated. Ever notice these spikes on the ground? Or benches you can't lie down on? This is called hostile architecture. Officially, it's designed to prevent homelessness, but its real impact runs much deeper. When you design a public space to prevent people from staying, you're not just pushing out the homeless. You're telling everyone, don't stay here, don't interact, keep moving. A study in the Journal of Urban Design found that hostile architecture reduces social interaction in public spaces by up to 40%. We're literally building loneliness into our cities. Sociologist Ray Oldenburg coined the term third places. Not home, the first place, not work, the second place, but free spaces where people gather without a specific purpose. Cafes, public libraries, parks, town squares. But over the past few decades, these places are disappearing, replaced by commercial malls, privatized spaces, or nothing. And where third places do exist, they're increasingly pay to stay. That coffee shop? You need to buy a $6 latte to sit there. We've monetized human connection. We're more connected than ever. You have 500 friends on Facebook, 1,000 followers on Instagram. But a University of Pennsylvania study found that limiting social media use to just 30 minutes per day significantly reduces loneliness and depression. Why? Because these platforms don't build real relationships. They build what researchers call parasocial relationships, one-sided, imaginary connections. When you talk face-to-face, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Eye contact, body language, vocal tone, a like on your post, your brain gets a tiny dopamine hit. But no oxytocin, no bonding. It's junk food for your social brain. Algorithms are designed to keep you on the platform as long as possible. And the easiest way to do that? Show you only what you like, only people who agree with you. The result? Filter bubbles. Information bubbles that make you feel everyone is like you and anyone different is an enemy. Algorithms don't build bridges, they build walls. A 2021 MIT study found that social media algorithms amplify divisive content 70% more than neutral content. We're not just lonely, we're lonely and convinced everyone else is the problem. Chronic loneliness increases your risk of early death by 26%. It has the same health impact as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. In Japan, there's a phenomenon called kodokushi, dying alone. People die in their apartments and aren't discovered for weeks or months. In the UK, the government appointed a Minister of Loneliness in 2018. In the US, the Surgeon General declared loneliness an epidemic in 2023. But here's what really gets me. This isn't natural. This isn't how humans have lived for 99% of our history. For millennia, we lived in tight-knit communities. You knew your neighbors. You had no choice but to interact. Loneliness wasn't an epidemic because isolation wasn't an option. This is a modern crisis. And like all modern crises, it has modern causes. But it's not all doom and gloom. Some cities are getting it right. In Copenhagen, 62% of residents bike to work. Why? Because the city is designed for people, not cars. Wide bike lanes, pedestrian streets, public squares with free seating. You can't help but run into your neighbors. In Vienna, 60% of housing is social housing, meaning neighborhoods are economically and socially diverse. The architect lives next to the teacher, next to the artist. In Barcelona, the Superblocks project turns streets into pedestrian spaces where kids can play and neighbors can meet. These aren't utopian fantasies. These are real cities with real people, proving that another way is possible. Real change requires policy, but you can start now. Go to the same coffee shop regularly. Get to know the staff and regulars. Become a familiar face. Leave your phone at home when you go for walks. Make eye contact with people. Smile. Join a club or local group, any shared activity, book clubs, running groups, community gardens. Talk to your neighbors. Even a simple hello rewires your social brain. Loneliness isn't a personal failure, it's a design failure. And we deserve cities, technologies, and spaces that bring us together instead of pushing us apart. In the end, we're social creatures. We need connection like we need air. Maybe it's time we designed a world that knows that.